Hello. Today we're going to talk about sleep routines, part two. We had part one yesterday, and today we're going to do part two. So let me see if anyone's going to be able to hop on. It's raining here for, I think, the first time in like weeks. So I have the window open and to get that nice calming rain sound. It's very nice. I also have my vanilla, I love this, essential oil. Can't read it, but it's vanilla. And honestly, when you smell it from the bottle, it smells like vanilla, but when I diffuse it, you can't really smell it. So I've been like, just kind of like having it in front of me to have just to be able to smell. So I love it. So as a recap, yesterday we talked about sleep routines. And when you think of sleep routines, you think, okay, the things that you do at night. And some of those things that we talked about was doing relaxing activities, avoiding screens, using blue light blockers, not eating 3 hours prior, and including more fiber. And I know I talked about some other stuff. That's just what I have down on my notes. So if you want to watch that full, I think it was like 15 minutes, you can go to the IGTV, my video section, and you can watch it there. I'm also going to send it out in an email today with this one and a bonus, not a video, but like a bonus, like kind of like email talking about that other piece, a really important piece that could potentially be an important piece of the puzzle when it comes to your sleep, staying asleep and waking up energized. And it might not affect you, but if it is something that is affecting you, this thing that I'm going to teach you is going to be life-changing for your sleep and your energy levels. So you're not going to want to miss it, and it's only going out to those on my email list. So my VIP community, you're going to get that today. I'm going to send it out and create it after we're done this live video today. So that was yesterday. Hey, Allie, thanks for joining. Do a little wave, little virtual wave. And so today is part two. And today we're going to be talking about the second piece that's important to have in place if you're looking to optimize your sleep. And that is a morning routine. And you might be thinking, well, what the hell does a morning routine have to do with my sleep? And my answer to that is everything, or at least 50%. So I'm going to, again, try to keep it short today. I wrote myself some notes, so try not to go on as many tangents and keep it to about 15 minutes or less like we did yesterday. So one of the key things, and I've been talking about this for the past couple of weeks, and this was something also that was posted and shared and supported by the infamous biohacker Dave Asprey. And he was talking about one of the most important things that you can do in order to regulate your sleep, especially with the time change, is to expose your body to proper lighting. So what that means considering a morning routine is making sure that in the morning, so I would say within the first hour of the day, you are getting outside and exposing your skin to the daylight. And that is really the only way that one of the only ways that our body can detect what time of day it is. So it's the only way that it can judge what hormones need to be produced. Do we need more cortisol in the morning? The answer should be yes. So the body only knows that if we go outside and it can tell from the light what time of day it is. So it can determine what hormones to produce at what levels. So again, thinking back to before we had technology, before there was screens, before we even had light bulbs, how did our bodies know? It was just it was an innate thing because all we had was daylight. And it was a habit to go outside in the morning, and then when the sun went down, that's when you went to sleep. So it wasn't something that we had to think about. Now we have to think about it. And because that information has not been passed down, that habit of getting outside in the morning and then kind of going to sleep when the sun goes down, because of the way our modern lifestyle is, we don't realize how much that's impacting our sleep. And it's easy to allow these things to kind of go by the wayside and to not implement those what used to be innate practices and habits that we just don't have anymore. So in order to kind of help with your sleep, get outside in the morning so that your body knows what time of day it is. So it can start producing the proper hormones that are going to help wake you up. Let me know if you have any questions about this. And if you're watching the replay, feel free to either message me or put a question in the comments and I'll be happy to answer that for you. If you're watching this from the email that you got from me, feel free to respond to my email. I respond to those as well. So that's number one, is making sure that you're exposing yourself to light in the morning. Now, another expert on sleep shared that also getting out in the afternoon, outside exposing your body to light in the afternoon, also will help with your body's circadian rhythm, so the sleep-wake cycles, because again, you're exposing your body to the light and it can tell from the amount of light that it's getting what time of day it is. So it's going to help regulate the hormones and everything that you need to have that proper sleep-wake cycle so that you can sleep better at night. Number two is, and I've shared this before, is what you do in the first hour of your day is going to dictate how the rest of your day goes. So how many of you are getting up, hitting snooze, reaching for unhealthy breakfast, or maybe you're rushing around in the morning trying to get yourself ready, get your kids and your family ready and out the door? Or how many of you are, instantly grabbing your phone and scrolling on social media? Or how many of you are grabbing your phone or your laptop and checking emails and doing work? And another big one, how many of you are checking your phone and looking at news? So all of these things, what do they have in common? Negativity, 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 stress, stress, stress. So if that is what you're exposing yourself to first thing in your day, that is setting the tone for the rest of your day. So that is probably how the rest of your day is going to go. It's going to be filled with chaos, with stress, with negativity. And that's what your mind's going to be focused on, because that's what you were feeding it first thing in the morning. So things that you can do instead of doing that is do something that is like, do some exercise, do some yoga, do some journaling, spend some quality time with a loved one. You can, I have some notes here. You can do meditation, you could pray, you can, read or listen to something that's uplifting and positive. So something that's going to show your brain like what you want to experience in that day. So do you want to experience joy and hope and productivity? Find something that you enjoy that elicits that emotion and those thoughts from you. Does that make sense? And I challenge you to give it a try. If you've never done that before, give yourself like 3 days. Do it 3 days in a row and evaluate how different your day goes when you do that versus whatever stress-filled activity that you're doing first thing in the morning. And again, like I explained yesterday, this doesn't have to be an all or nothing. So if you have zero morning routine right now, pick a realistic amount of time that you can start with. So if that's only 10 minutes, then just do 10 minutes. Do 10 minutes, pick one thing that you're going to do, and then do that consistently. And then once that becomes a habit, then add on a next thing. Or, instead of 10 minutes, do 20 minutes. And then when you bump it up to 20 minutes, you can add on a second habit. Or you can extend whatever that first activity is from 10 minutes to 20 minutes. So those are easy ways to change your habit. So trying to go from a nothing to like, let's do a 2-hour morning routine and try to fit all of these things in, more than likely, it's not going to work. So you might be able to keep it up for like a day or two, but then after that, you're just going to be too overwhelmed and you're just going to stop. And then what's going to happen? You're most likely going to feel bad about yourself and all of that. So have grace with yourself, have compassion, and start small. There's nothing wrong with starting small. So keep that in mind. And one of the things that I love to do, and it's one of the things that, I encourage my clients to do, is to wake up and do lemon water, because that's going to help hydrate your system. And especially if you're trying to wean off of coffee or caffeine, this is a great way to hydrate yourself and to give yourself a little bit of energy first thing in the morning. So that's number 2. Number 3 is to wake up around the same time every single day. Now, this can be a tough one, but the reason why you want to do that is because your body kind of has a calculator of the average of the 5 past days when you wake up and when you go to sleep. So it will take those times and it will average it out. And that is when your body will naturally try to wake up and go to sleep. So if you have to get up for work, say at 5 o'clock in the morning, 5 days a week, and then on Saturday and Sunday, you're staying up till like 1 o'clock in the morning or midnight or whatever, when you try to get up on Monday at 5 o'clock in the morning again, you feel super tired. And that's why, you hate Mondays. One of the reasons why people hate Mondays is because they're so tired on Monday because of how late they were staying up, over the weekend. Allie says, oh yes, I've been having lemon water in the morning and I feel so much better and awake. I do it right away. Yep. And, I've noticed too with myself, when I don't have that lemon water in the morning, like I feel so much more dehydrated and less energy. So an example of that would be today. Thursdays is a tough day for me because I'm up so early or earlier than I normally would be up to go to my BNI meetings. So most of the time I do have my lemon water still in the morning, but sometimes I just don't have time. And today was one of those days and I'm feeling it today because I didn't have that lemon water first thing in the morning. So I love that you're doing that, Ellie. It's amazing. So, so waking up around the same time every single day. So what that's going to do is your body is then going to have that same wake up time and that same sleep time. So it's not going to be erratic. It's going to know like what time you're supposed to wake up and what time you're supposed to go to sleep. So my recommendation for the weekends is to try and keep it within an hour of when you normally wake up. Now, if you're someone who's been getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning during the week and say 10 o'clock in the morning on the weekends, that's a 5-hour gap. So, take baby steps, just like everything. You don't have to do all or nothing. If you want to, and that works for you, then go for it. But if you need to kind of like slowly change that habit, then do that. So if you want to start waking up at 9 a.m. instead of 10 a.m. on the weekends, any little bit is going to help you. So anything that's going to help you stay consistent, do that. So that's the basics of what I wanted to share with you today when it comes to creating a sleep routine, which includes your evening routine and your morning routine that's going to help you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up feeling energized. So again, if you are somebody who's struggling with insomnia, you're someone who struggles with anxiety and panic attacks, and you're tired of having to deal with that, or you're tired of having to be on medications and you really want help and support to overcome that holistically, then let's have a chat. So send me a message. We can set something up for next week or the week after, since next week is Thanksgiving, even though I do have some spots open on Monday for those calls. We can just have a chat and I can ask you questions. What's going on? What do you want to change? And, a lot of people have big revelations and they feel heard and seen on these calls. Whether they decide to work with me or not, this call is always beneficial. So there's literally nothing to lose for you to set up this call. So I encourage you, let's have a chat. And I hope you found this helpful. And again, that other piece of information that could be the key to making sure that you're staying asleep and waking up rested, I'm going to be sending that out in an email to my VIP community today. So watch out for that if you are on that. If you want to get on that, either click the link in my bio, there'll be links to it there, or you can send me a message with the word free and you'll get step-by-step instructions on how to do that. Until next time, bye.